What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I'm coming at you from National Beef in Liberal, Kansas. I've had a lot of people ask or question, what comes out of Denver, Colorado. And, I've seen some negative posts on Facebook talking about, better be ready for that deadhead or whatever. I live in Colorado. Every time I come out of Colorado, the loads that I get are worth it for the most part. Regardless of the deadhead, typically I'm going to get something out of either Greeley, Colorado, Fort Morgan. Sometimes on occasion I'm going to go out to that Walmart and take a load up to like the Northwest or something like that. Or I'm going to deadhead out to Dodge City, Liberal, and actually there's another one. Sometimes I'll get some water, like some Nestle, going to Nebraska, which is basically... it's a cheap load, but it pays for my deadhead to get out to Nebraska to pick up a load out there. So a lot of people are going to complain about anything. And I've never had a problem with the freight as far as what it pays coming out of Colorado. Now, some of the loads coming out of Colorado are the problem. Sometimes I'll get those loads going to the Northeast, and I think I've learned that every time I've every time I've taken a load up to the Northeast out of Colorado, something's happened. And it has nothing to do with the load. It could be my truck or whatever, but to me, I take that as a sign. So this load I got is leaving. I had to deadhead out to Liberal, Kansas. It's going to 2 drops, which is another thing I'm going to touch on. 2 drops in Lakeland, Florida and Cocoa, Florida. So definitely worth the deadhead, all that kind of stuff. But I did want to talk about these multi-drop loads. And what I see happening maybe is some of these receivers are requesting less product, so we're getting stacked with a bunch of these multi-drop loads. I've never seen so many multi-drop loads in my life. I mean, I've had loads where I've dropped like 3 times. Loads where I've picked up multiple times. I've seen both my drivers have multiple drop-offs. And maybe that's part of the economy. Maybe there's not as much demand, as there was previously, because I can look back to like maybe a little over a year ago. I never had multi-drop loads. Never. Maybe on occasion here and there, but lately a lot of these loads are multi-drop loads. So I think that's has to do with how much volume some of these receivers are trying to accept, and then we're ended up having to stop at multiple places because of that. So not that big of a deal. For the drivers that drive with me, they get $25 extra per drop, so that's some extra money for them. So I think Myra might have even had a load where she dropped like 3 times or something. I don't know, it was a lot, but it's just something I've been seeing lately. This load here, I drove out to about 70 miles away from Liberal, Kansas yesterday. Drove it in today. I knew the load wasn't ready. And one of the ways that you can tell if your load is possibly ready at a lot of these Tysons and JBS places is to go into your view documents. And a lot of times if that load is ready, you'll see a document in there that'll say trailer, whatever is loaded and ready to pick up or something like that. So it's better than just waiting around. So I didn't see that before I came here, so I knew it wasn't ready, but I wanted to get out here, drop my trailer, park. So I'm parked right here by the entrance gate. So when the load is ready, all I got to do is go in there and pick it up. Now, it is, they have till 8:40 p.m. to get this load ready. I got here at about 9, so my clock's going to come back at 7. I probably won't pick up the load till the drop dead time, even if it's ready before that, just so I can run a full clock, first of all. And second of all, because if I start driving at, let's say, round it off to 9, that gets me off the road at 7. There's all kinds of parking options and things like that, rather than me, trying to go out there and shoot my wad early, You know, I pick up a load, or I pick up this load. Let's say that it's ready in like, what, it's 9:14 now. Let's say it's ready at 11, and I want to drive out. That's going to put me at 9 p.m. to park. So that's not necessarily the best thing. I could split my clock and pick it up at 11, drive maybe 4 or 5 hours, park then, and then kind of resume later. So I might do that if it's ready super early. But if it's closer to that, you know, 7, 8 o'clock time frame, I'll probably just wait until my full clock comes back and kind of go from there. Well, my clock comes back at 7, but I may just hold off a little bit because I won't be able to comfortably drive, worry about parking and all that kind of stuff. So these are just things that I think about. The load does seem tight, at least the first drop off. So if that becomes a problem, first thing I'm gonna do, as soon as I pick up the load, figure out my hours and let dispatch or whoever know what the deal is. I don't think it's gonna be a problem, but it's going to be tight either way. This is not going to be a load that I'm going to be out there not that I drive 55 or 58 miles anyway, but it's probably going to be one that I drive 65 miles an hour just to get on top of it, just to kind of see where I'm at. As far as normal driving, you know, if I'm driving and there's nobody around, I might back it down to 60, 61 or whatever. But if there's a lot of truck traffic around, you know, I'm going to at least speed it up just a little bit, just so I'm not being a deterrent on the road. And whatever anybody says, I don't care what they say about being safe, driving 50 or 65, or if you're driving 55, maybe 55 is so slow that people are just going to be able to come around you. But if you're just driving 60, you know, that could be a deterrent. I don't know. But anyway, that's what's up. I'm about to come back here, get some sleep, because I know I'm probably going to be driving all night, and probably going to be stopping between, well, definitely going to make it past Russellville, Arkansas. Probably make it close to Little Rock. So that's going to be kind of my deal. I'm going to probably try to get as close to 650 miles as I can on this, because I am, from my first drop, 8
hours and 0 minutes of remaining drive time.
I'm 1,579 miles away. So if I can get, let's even say 600 miles out of that, that leaves me with 1,000. And then I can knock that out in 2 drive shifts. And I will probably be driving this load in 300 miles just to get it there, based on the way this rolls. So not exactly the way I like to do it, but it's a tight schedule. And my next drop would drop the next morning at 01. So basically 24 hours to go 60 something miles. So I'm good to go on that. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. As always, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.